What if I told you that the dealership smiling at you across that showroom floor already knows 7 things about your BYD purchase that you don't? And some of those things could cost you thousands of dollars, leave you stranded on the side of the road, or mean your car is quietly uploading your driving data to a cloud server right now. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the fine print that BYD retailers are not rushing to walk you through. These are the details buried in the contracts, the warranty documents, and the finance disclosures that most buyers never read until it's too late. Now look, BYD makes genuinely impressive cars. The range is growing fast, the technology is real, and the value on paper looks hard to beat. Most people buying a BYD right now are making a reasonable decision. But reasonable decisions turn into expensive regrets when you don't know what you're actually signing. And the thing is, a lot of this information is technically available. It's just written in the kind of language that makes your eyes glaze over after the first paragraph. So we did the reading for you. We're going to go through 7 things the dealership is unlikely to volunteer, starting with one that catches almost every buyer off guard, then building to the one that genuinely surprised us the most. Let's get into it. And quick note before we start, exact rules vary by market, model, and retailer. But these are the fine print details every BYD buyer should check before they sign anything. So the first thing we need to talk about is the battery warranty, because this is the one that almost every buyer gets wrong from the very beginning. When you see 8-year battery warranty in the advertising, and you will see it everywhere, your brain files that away as a done deal. 8 years, covered, no problem. But here's where it gets complicated. That warranty is not identical across every market. The mileage limits, the conditions, the specific terms, they differ depending on where you live and which model you're buying. The warranty in the ad may genuinely not be the same warranty sitting in your contract. So before you leave that showroom, you need to pull out the actual warranty document for your specific market and your specific model and read what it actually says. Don't assume the headline number tells the whole story, because it usually doesn't. But that's only half of the battery warranty problem. And honestly, the second half is the part that really matters. Even if your warranty terms are exactly what you expected, most buyers have a completely wrong idea of what a battery warranty actually promises. Here's what people think it means. If my battery degrades, BYD replaces it with a brand new one. Here's what it often actually means. BYD will only act if your battery drops below a minimum health threshold. In BYD's published European policy, for example, that threshold is 70% state of health. So your battery could go from 100% down to 71%, and the warranty covers nothing. That's not a defect by their definition. That's just normal use. A battery warranty is not a promise that your battery stays like new. It's a promise that it won't fall off a cliff past a certain point. Those are 2 very different things, and understanding that difference changes how you think about long-term ownership costs completely. So now you've got a clearer picture of what the warranty actually covers. But there's another piece of the coverage puzzle that almost nobody thinks to ask about until they're already on the side of the road at 11 p.m. with a flat tire. Roadside assistance. Most buyers assume this just comes with the car for as long as the warranty lasts. Same coverage, same duration, done. But BYD's assistance terms can be entirely separate from the vehicle warranty. They can be time-limited independently, and in some cases, keeping that roadside cover active depends on whether you've been getting your scheduled servicing done through an authorized repairer. So if you've been taking your BYD to an independent shop to save money on servicing, which is a completely reasonable thing to want to do, you might not be voiding your car warranty, but you could be quietly losing benefits you assumed were included. Skipping the dealer for a service might cost you less upfront and more later when you actually need help. That's the kind of trade-off you want to know about before you make the decision, not after. Now we're going to shift gears, because the next 2 points are about money, and they're connected in a way that most buyers never see coming. Let's talk about that monthly payment. BYD finance deals, like most car finance deals, are really good at making a big number look like a small number. You see a low monthly figure in the ad, and it feels manageable. But what that headline number often doesn't tell you is the full picture. A large final balloon payment at the end of the contract, mileage limits that charge you extra if you go over, condition charges when you return the car, and various fees that only show up when the contract ends. The monthly payment is just one slice of what you're actually paying. So here's the single most useful question you can ask any BYD finance person. What do I pay in total if I keep this car? Get that number, write it down. Then decide if the deal still looks as good as the ad made it seem. 9 times out of 10, the answer changes how you feel about it. But here's the part that makes the finance situation even more interesting, and this one genuinely surprised us when we dug into it. The person at the dealership helping you choose a finance plan is not a neutral financial advisor. BYD's own finance disclosures show that retailers can receive commission from lenders when they arrange finance deals. So the payment plan being recommended to you might also be the one that pays the retailer the most. That doesn't mean they're being dishonest with you. It just means their incentives and your incentives are not perfectly aligned, and you should know that going in. Shop around. Compare what BYD's finance arm is offering against what your own bank or a credit union can do. Sometimes the dealer deal is competitive. Sometimes it isn't. But you'll only know that if you actually compare. If you're finding this useful, do us a favor and hit subscribe because we cover this kind of stuff regularly, the things brands and retailers don't put in the brochure. And drop a comment below telling us which of these surprised you most. It genuinely helps us know what to cover next. Now we're getting into the two that we think are the most underappreciated issues with modern BYD ownership, and the first one is something most car buyers have never even thought to ask about. Your BYD is a connected car. That's part of what makes it impressive. But connected means it's collecting data, and the amount of data it can collect is more than most owners realize. We're talking vehicle status, tire pressure, mileage, speed, battery temperature, charge level, software update logs, all of it being recorded and, in some connected markets, uploaded to cloud systems at regular intervals. Your BYD is not just a car. It's essentially a rolling data device that happens to take you places. Now, data collection is standard across the industry at this point. Tesla does it, BMW does it, most modern cars do it. But BYD is a Chinese company, and for a lot of buyers in Western markets, that adds a layer of concern that feels worth thinking about. The important thing is to actually go and read BYD's data privacy policy for your market. Understand what's being collected, where it's going, and what your options are. You should be making that choice consciously, not just finding out about it 2 years into ownership. And then there's the final point, and this is the one that we think has the biggest practical impact on your day-to-day ownership experience over the long run. Modern BYDs are sophisticated software-driven machines, and that means fixing them isn't just about mechanical skill anymore, it's about software access. Your local mechanic might be genuinely excellent at working on cars. They might have 20 years of experience. But if they don't have the specific diagnostic software, the technical information, and the verified access credentials that BYD's systems require, there are things they simply cannot diagnose or fix properly. BYD does have an independent repair information platform that allows workshops to apply for access to tools and data. But access is controlled. It's not automatic, and not every independent shop has it or has bothered to get it. So before you commit to a BYD, it's worth finding out which workshops near you are actually equipped to service one. Because if your nearest authorized dealer is an hour away and your independent options are limited, that's a real-world inconvenience that adds up over years of ownership. So let's bring this all together. Because if you've made it this far, you now know more about buying a BYD than the vast majority of people walking into dealerships right now. The battery warranty that's advertised may have different terms in your market, so read your actual contract. Even a valid battery warranty only protects you down to a minimum health threshold, not back up to new. Roadside assistance is separate from your vehicle warranty and can depend on where you service your car. The low monthly payment in finance deals often hides the real total cost, so always ask for the full number. The retailer arranging your finance may be earning commission from that deal, so compare your options independently. Your BYD collects significant amounts of driving data, and you should understand what that means for your privacy. And your local mechanic may not have the software access needed to fully service your car, so check your options before you need them. None of this means BYD makes bad cars. It means BYD makes complex cars with complex ownership structures, and the buyers who go in informed are the ones who come out satisfied. The ones who don't are the ones leaving frustrated comments on forums 6 months later wondering why nobody told them. You now know. Go into that dealership asking the right questions. Read the documents they hand you and make them earn the sale. If this video helped you, share it with someone who's currently looking at a BYD. You might genuinely save them some money. And check out our other videos covering what the EV industry doesn't put in the brochure. There's a lot more where this came from.